You know, a disadvantage to me doing these videos is that if I'm dead wrong, it's on the internet forever. What's going on there, guys? Darren here from NFL News Today, coming back at you with another video. This is going to be a new series called Healey's Hot Takes, where I give some of my controversial opinions on football, and I just give my argument to them, and if you disagree with it, oh well. Today, we will be talking about Michael McCorkle Jones, better known as Mac Jones. The Alabama quarterback shocked the football world with his 2020 season, which earned him some Heisman votes and boosted his draft stock. In fact, his 2020 season was so good, the San Francisco 49ers gave up 3 first-round picks and a third-round pick to move from number 12 to number 3, with many analysts predicting that they will take the Alabama signal caller. Those same analysts are also bashing the 49ers for that decision. Many people think it's a good idea to take either Justin Fields or Trey Lance, maybe even Zach Wilson if he falls to 3 at that spot, but in all honesty, I think it's a great move to trade up to number 3 for Mac Jones. Let me explain why. First, let's take a look at Jones. He got his first real action in 2019 when he took over late in the season for an injured Tua Tagovailoa. He played well, having a completion percentage in the high 60s along with over 1,400 passing yards and 14 touchdowns. His redshirt junior year is where he really kicked it into overdrive. In 2020, Jones led the Crimson Tide to a national championship while also remaining undefeated. During his campaign, Jones threw for over 4,500 yards with 41 touchdowns to just 4 interceptions. His play was also great enough to earn him a couple of Heisman votes, where he would eventually lose out to his teammate Devonta Smith. To go along with his fantastic season, Jones also showed huge improvements in basic fundamentals and was really shaping up to be a pretty good prospect. Sprinkle in a couple of solid pro days in there, and it appeared as if the hype around Jones was real. That's where our friends by the Bay come in. Ever since the Niners lost in the Super Bowl in early 2020, there have been questions surrounding Garoppolo. Some people say that he was the one who was really holding them back from a championship. You kind of have to look at Jimmy Garoppolo's 49ers tenure like this. He ended up getting traded at the trade deadline and started the last 5 games for San Francisco, where he played well, but he did end up winning all 5. The ensuing offseason saw him become the highest paid quarterback of all time, but unfortunately we did not get to see a lot of playing time from him as he tore his ACL just 3 games into the season. Then in 2019, it was his first full year in the system, and he played well. He threw for about 27 touchdowns to 13 interceptions, I want to say, with like 30 under yards, and he helped lead the team to the Super Bowl. But after having a poor performance in the playoffs, people were wondering if he was really worth all the money. Then 2020 comes along, and he was really just inconsistent and injured. He was either or he was bupkis. There was really no middle ground with Garoppolo. You either got 2 or 3 touchdowns a game with no turnovers, or you got no touchdowns each game with 2 or 3 turnovers. When he's healthy, I feel like Garoppolo can actually be a good quarterback, but injuries have just been holding him back, so I really don't blame the 49ers for wanting to take a quarterback early on in the draft. But that then brings up this question: why trade 3 firsts and a third to move from number 12 to number 3 for Mac Jones out of all quarterbacks? Well, there's a couple of reasons. The first one being the hype this quarterback class is getting. This is one of the best quarterback classes in a while, and there have been rumors about many different teams taking different quarterbacks. I've seen mock drafts that have the Falcons, the Eagles, the Lions, the Broncos, the Panthers before they trade for Darnold, sometimes even the Giants. Heck, and the Patriots have been in the mix for drafting a quarterback for a while. Like, I understand this is an amazing quarterback class, but is it that great? I think it was smart of the 49ers to look at their current quarterback situation, both on their team and in the draft, and identify that if they wanted to get their man, they were going to have to trade up to do so. But then that brings up this question: why is Mac Jones their guy? Simple answer: scheme fit. Assuming that Lawrence and Wilson go 1 and 2 in the draft, that leaves the 49ers with the options of Mac Jones, Justin Fields, and Trey Lance. And although I do have the former ranked above the latter, I do believe that out of the 3, Jones fits the 49ers offensive scheme the best. The Shanahan offense is not a very complex one. It's a heavy run-first offense with a lot of short passing, gaining most of your yards on yards after catch, and the occasional deep pass on play action. You really don't need anyone better than Jones to run that system. The mobility and the other great talents of Lance and Fields would just be put to waste in that scheme. With Jones, you get an easy plug-and-play replacement for that West Coast offense. And it's not even like Jones is that bad of a quarterback. Do I feel like there's a huge talent gap between the first 4 quarterbacks and him? Yes, I do, but does that necessarily make him a bad quarterback? It really doesn't. His biggest flaws are his lack of experience in his overthrows, but despite overthrowing, he was top 2 in the nation in completion percentage, and there is also a lot to like about Mac. He is accurate, he has great pocket presence, a good decision maker, his ball placement and touch are great, and he has shown time and time again that he can lead his receivers into yards after catch, which is huge for the Shanahan offense. You also know that you probably have 1, if you're lucky, 2 good years left with Garoppolo, so Jones can take some time to develop under him to not only adapt to the NFL game, but to adapt to not having 5-star recruits around him. Like, seriously, look at this wide receiver room. I think if you take a deeper look into what the 49ers currently have a quarterback and what the situation in the draft was, I think it was 100% the correct move to trade up from number 12 to number 3, and I absolutely think they should draft Mac Jones with the 3rd overall pick. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share this with all of your friends. And yeah, I also have a couple other social media accounts which I post some awesome content to, including TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. So yeah, once again, thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.